Happy Sunday night. I am so excited to be sharing with you tonight about how to calm the chaos. So how to organize your home, especially if you have kids. So if you are watching live or if you're watching the replay, thanks for watching. If we haven't met before, my name is Joy Wilder. I'm the founder of the Brilliant Life brand, and I help women design a life and business of their dreams without sacrificing their family or their health. So it's lots of fun. I am also the mother of 4 young kids, a former location pastor, and I am the co-founder of a Montessori preschool in DC and a separate Montessori preschool in my house. So I love organizing, and I'm going to just go ahead and jump right in. You'll have to forgive me. I have a little bit of a cough, but it's going to be so super awesome. So tonight we're going to be talking about how to calm the chaos, how to organize your home, especially if you have kids. So you might not be very familiar with Montessori, but Montessori is where I want to start because it's such a big part of how I developed all of this philosophy. So Maria Montessori is the founder of Montessori, and Montessori is an educational philosophy that really believes in empowering children to independence. So Maria Montessori was the first female doctor in Italy over 100 years ago. So she was really a scientist and an observer at heart, and she actually invented toddler tables and chairs. Isn't that crazy? Can you imagine a world with no toddler tables and chairs? So she believed in having child-sized everything as far as child-sized furniture. She even believed in having children's homes where their preschools would actually have lower ceilings, like everything was child-sized. And the reason behind this is that it would really empower children to do things themselves, because children want to do things themselves. Do you know that Love and Logic says that the number one determinant of an adult's self-confidence is the amount of chores that they did growing up as a child? Because chores create, you build self-confidence by overcoming challenges. And so chores, you as the caregiver can create these incremental challenges that children can conquer. Also, children understand through chores and responsibilities and being empowered to do things around the house and in their community at school, that if they don't contribute what they have to offer to their community, their family, or their classroom, then their family doesn't function well. And that creates an adult who thinks, if I don't contribute what I have to offer to the world, then my world isn't going to function well. So I want to really encourage you as a parent or a caregiver to empower your children and to set up your home in a way that it can empower them, because it is the number one way to build their self-confidence, by allowing them to contribute to the household. Maria Montessori has a famous quote that goes, "Never do for a child that which they can do for themselves." So along this whole process, just think about, how can I be empowering my child? And a book that I always recommend is this book, How to Raise a Child and How to Raise an Amazing Child, The Montessori Way by Tim Seldon. This is like, Tim Seldon is a guru, but there's lots of pictures in here for every age group, and it just is really inspiring how you can set up your home in a more Montessori way. So I'm going to just throw out a bunch of different ideas. I'm going to kind of go section by section through the house of how you can organize your home, especially related to children. So first, I want to encourage you to start small and start with one section of your home. Sometimes people have a tendency to get, especially at the new year, to get all gung-ho about organizing, and then you think, I'm gonna organize my whole house. And let me tell you, that is a sure recipe to overwhelm yourself, but also your little children and likely your partner are also going to get overwhelmed. So pick just one section of your house. An example of this is over the holiday break. I was so sick of the mess in my 2 older girls' rooms, and so I just decided to focus on the 2 bedrooms that my 3 girls occupy. And we got 1 new piece of furniture in there, and then we rearranged the furniture in both the rooms, and it was awesome. But we didn't reorganize the entire house. We just focused on those 2 rooms, 1 new piece of furniture over the break, and it was really great. So start small with 1 section of the home. And if a whole room feels overwhelming, and it in fact might be, then just start with 1 drawer or start with 1 piece of furniture. Like, just start small, because small actions are better than no actions at all, okay? And that way you aren't going to overwhelm yourself and you aren't going to overwhelm your child. So that's my first tip, is to start small. My next tip is to encourage you to think about, what would you be most excited if you could empower your child to do? Like, I cannot even tell you how exciting it was that I told my kids to please clean off the counter, my older 2, this afternoon, and of all kids stuff, clean off the counter of all kids stuff. And in 10 minutes, my 6-year-old had taken all of that stuff upstairs and put them into the different baskets that are labeled right now with Post-it notes, but soon to be more nicely labeled. She put it all away in 10 minutes. And that would have never been possible had we not set up this bookcase system and labeled them. And I showed them, we did that all together. And then my 6-year-old was empowered to actually clean up, and it was just glorious. So what would you be excited about? What would you be most excited about if your child could be empowered to do for themselves? Okay. So next, a general kind of rule of thumb is the less furniture, the better. So when we rearranged the furniture in my 2 girls' rooms, we moved 1 dresser over onto 1 wall that took up the whole wall, and then we got rid of a bookcase. Well, we put it in a different room, and then I bought this big IKEA, I think they're called Kallax. They're on sale usually over this holiday break, and I got the biggest one that they have. So it's like 5 cubes by 5 cubes, I think 7 foot by 7 foot. But the long story short is, we had a big wall that we could fill up, and instead of getting several pieces of furniture on that wall, I got the biggest piece of furniture that I could that would serve the function of what I wanted on that wall. So have, like, the less furniture, the better, and the more that you can max out a wall space for that piece of furniture, the better, if that makes sense. Okay, bookcases are your friend. Bookcases just maximize the amount of wall height, space, and storage. So I just encourage you, if you're wondering what solution to work towards, bookcases are really great. Also, in general, you can also stick dressers in closets. Both my girls have dressers in closets. I have 1 dresser in one of my girls' rooms that I have had in a closet my entire life since I think I was in elementary school. Isn't that crazy? But it's just this very tiny dresser. I think my parents got it at a yard sale when I was like 8. And it's just has fit in every living space that I've been in, and it's super functional. So anything with drawers is really functional also with children. So you can stick a dresser in a closet. And then step stools are fantastic for empowering your children to do stuff. So we have a step stool in every level of our house. We I think have 2 step stools on the first floor. So step stools are really, really great. Okay, now I'm going to tackle the front hall. I'm going to start with the front hall. I encourage you to get some sort of shoe bench that your children, or shoe storage container that your children can put their shoes in, and not be like a big basket that they just throw their shoes into. You want something that preferably has dividers, or you can get something from IKEA that our classroom uses this, that's just like 2 white things. You can use that for a shoe bench. And if your children are on the younger side and they have trouble like keeping their shoes together, you can have a basket of clothespins and they can just clothespin their shoes together. But I got off of Craigslist a shoe bench that you can sit on top of, so it's nice. And then you open up the doors, but then you close the doors so you don't really see their stuff, and the doors are ventilated. So we really love that. Have a low-hanging coat rack. So when your kids come in, they can hang up their own coat and book bags. So instead of having, like I see a lot of mudrooms where there's no way that a child could like hang up their coat and book bag, have it at eye or shoulder height so they can hang up their own stuff. Have a tray for their shoes and for your guest shoes. If you don't have space for an actual shoe bench, then sometimes just having a tray, anything that can help delineate, this ambiguous space is really helpful, especially for little children. But even for adults, like just marking the area through a tray where people can put their shoes on just makes it obvious to your guests and to your kids where the shoes should go. And then I talk about this in my upcoming 7-day mini habits challenge, but encouraging your children to just touch things once. So as soon as they come in the door, their shoes go in the shoe bench and they hang up their hat and their coat and their book bag. And I still tell my children this till what I feel like I'm blue in the face, but don't give up. Eventually they will get it. Well, that's what I keep telling myself. I mean, I know that I've gotten it as an adult. So, okay, so that's the front hallway. Next, I want to talk to you about the kitchen. Okay, so you can do, I encourage you, any dinnerware, plasticware, anything in the kitchen that you want your kids to be able to access, the best that you can, make it accessible to them. So we have the original kitchen cabinets in the house that we live in and own right now. They're over 40 years old, so there's no drawers. I mean, like low drawers. I feel like more modern cabinets have sometimes like columns of drawers. There's none of that in our kitchen. There's just like the high silverware drawers, that type of thing. So again, you just like I talked about putting a dresser drawer in a closet, in a cabinet you can get plastic drawers, and sometimes this is really helpful. We store all of our rags in a low cabinet in a drawer, and then if there's a spill, our kids, I think rags are super important to have accessible to children. Our kids can clean it up themselves. But same with like cups or plates. Just put everything on lower levels that you can. And same with the refrigerator. Like think about organizing your refrigerators so that they have access to stuff in the kitchen that you want them to have access to the degree that you can. Having a step stool in the kitchen, I think, is super duper helpful, because then as they get like a little bit older, they can start just getting, they can unload the dishwasher and put all the dishes away if they have access to a step stool, that type of thing. It's just super, super helpful. Okay, now we're going to talk about bedrooms. So I already talked about, I'm a big fan of bookcases. Sometimes like having the cube bookcases from IKEA are really helpful with baskets. That can be helpful. But also just, open bookcases. But bookcases are a big deal. Having a child-sized table and chairs, also a super big deal, super helpful. If you guys want your children to be occupied for long spans of time and engage with different arts and crafts and puzzles and whatever, just engage with their toys, then you want to have a child-sized table and chair, because that's going to really invite them. You want to think about like the environment that you're creating for your child. You want it to be peaceful and you want it to ignite their imagination. So if they have these bookcases where they can see what's on the shelves, if they have a child-sized table and chair where they can work, that's going to create an inviting environment for them to just like explode in their curiosity. And that's what we all want as parents and caregivers, right? So a child-sized table and chair, having a hamper that is super accessible. We have 4 kids, 1 hamper. So the kids have to bring their clothes into the one room where the hamper is, and it's divided. So I'm already teaching my kids, not that they like nail it 50% of the time, but I think having I'm a big fan of pre-divided hampers, especially for kids, because it just saves time and you teach them young. Like this is the white colored dark. Okay, great. They make these clothing dividers. I don't know if these are not a clothing divider. This is a drawer divider. So they make these drawer dividers, different like heights and depths. And so those are so helpful in empowering your children to put their clothes away by themselves and then the drawer dividers divide them up. Or my girls have bunk beds, so underneath the bunk beds are these huge drawers, and I got huge dividers to divide those big drawers, and we store the shoes that they are moving into or out of under the bed. Anyway, drawer dividers, really awesome, and step stool. Okay, and let me see if I had any other thoughts. Okay, and then I think I was going to talk about the bathroom. Bedroom. Okay. Oh, if possible, you can also lower the clothes hanging rack in your children's closets. This is super empowering. So they can hang up their own clothes and take them down, and they can see their clothes. They can pick out their clothes. We don't actually do that in our house because, like I said, we need the space to have dressers in the closets. But it is super cool if you can lower the you know what I'm talking about, so the children can hang up their clothes. So that's my last tip for the bedroom. And then I wanted to talk to you about the bathroom. So I have had on my Amazon wish list for quite a long time now a toothpaste, a toothbrush holder, and toothpaste dispenser. I know this sounds like super corny, but oh my gosh, guys, this revolutionized our family's life. And I'm sorry, I thought I had the box to show you because I can't take you up to our bathroom. But if you check my Facebook and Instagram, I show it in a video, I think yesterday. Anyway, it can hold up to 5 toothbrushes, and it has an ultraviolet light that cleans the toothbrushes when the kids put them in there to hold them. And then they insert the toothbrush into the toothpaste dispenser part, and it just like dabs out just the right amount of toothpaste, and there's no mess. Oh my gosh, guys, I can't even tell you how really, really awesome that is. And that made me think of one other thing, and that is back in the kitchen, we also own a cereal dispenser. And sorry, I didn't bring it with me, but basically you can get a single or a double. It's kind of like one of those things that you see in a hotel, but basically, what you would see in a hotel. But basically you put the cereal in a dispenser, and then a child can twist this plastic knob and they put their bowl underneath, and it prevents whole bags of cereal being poured out all over the floor or on the table, and it's really great. So I really love that. So those are all my tips, tricks, and hacks. I just want to encourage you, like I said again, to be encouraged and to remember the why of why you want to organize your house with your kids, and why you want to create an empowering environment. And that is because the number one way to build a child's self-confidence is through chores. They want to be able to do it themselves. So if you can create an environment where they can help clean up, then it's a win-win for everyone, because then you're not walking around like exhausted and annoyed, and their confidence is being built. And also, if you can create a calm, peaceful environment that is child-friendly, then that's going to ignite their imagination, and they're going to more easily engage and focus on work, and that's going to lead to higher levels of creativity and intelligence, and just it's going to increase your energy, because you're going to have a few minutes to yourself to do whatever you want or need to do. So I hope this all helped, guys. You can put in the comments below what the biggest takeaway was. And guys, tomorrow I am kicking off my 7-day mini habits challenge. Do less, achieve more. I would love for you to join me. This is going to be the first time that I'm doing this challenge live. So I'll be going live 7 days in a row at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am going to help you find 5 hours in your week and just show you how to, kick off 2020 well. So I encourage you to sign up for that. You can sign up until 11 p.m. tomorrow, Monday, January 6th, and you just register at www.joywilder.com do less. Over 100 people have gone through this challenge. It's super fun, super practical, totally gets you some great results, and I'd love to hang out with you more inside our private Facebook group. So, all right, guys, that's all I have for now. Laura, Anastasia, thanks to you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great Sunday night.